One thing that's huge for us about this data and analytics competency is it proves that we can compete with anyone on the map. I mean, as we've been building our name recognition and our trust and our authority in the spaces as data and analytics experts, oftentimes we see contracts and we start projects where there's been a large implementer. And we won't name names, but we want to think about some of the most prominent, consulting groups out there with tens of thousands of employees at times. Oftentimes, we are able to provide a much more curated and personalized version of service, especially when it comes to these small and medium-sized businesses that might not have the external expertise. They need both an implementer and also someone who can be a strategist and a guide and someone who can be a protector and look out for them. There's fantastic resources that are available for someone like me to read up on and understand how these services work. We get to go to all these fantastic conferences and meet with experts who talk about the new services and AI and data. But at the end of the day, so many of the blog posts and features that get released are built for some of the largest enterprises in the country. And these are fantastic services. But the things that matter the most for day-to-day businesses with a market cap under 10 billion, say, are a completely different set of services that don't get talked about as much. And one thing we're really proud of is our ability to keep an eye out in the landscape for changes that actually on a day-to-day basis affect companies like the ones that we work with the most. And we think that because of that care, because we're not just deploying a standard template and a PowerPoint deck, like we get to come in as builders and be highly effective. So now with competency in hand, we can be more confident than ever that we can stand up against any other agency and build some really fantastic things.
A lot of times customers are really excited also because they know that we've worked with large customers, and we also can take what we've done for really large enterprise level businesses or organizations and apply that to a small company that's really innovative and trying to do things really quickly and build and fail fast and those types of things. And so we really enjoy working with companies like that because they have oftentimes less sort of barriers to entry. They might have a little more clear air ahead of them in terms of what they want to build. But then they know that when they hire a company like Red Oak Strategic, they have validated, we have competencies, we've proven that we can deploy things at a very high level, enterprise level, and still do that for a small business or a small organization or medium size, whatever it may be. But they are now tapping into and punching above their weight, you could say, into services and a deployment that they get really excited about that because they may not realize that for what it may cost them, they can actually leverage the same tools that a multi-billion-dollar company is leveraging and do it in a very quick way.
Mark, I think that's exactly correct. We've had these great opportunities to work and build fantastic products for the enterprise. So we have customers that spend upwards of $200,000 a month on some of their AWS services, and they get a ton of value from that. At the same time, we have customers that I'm equally as proud of that spend under $100 a month for some of their build outs, and they use 80% of the same services stack and deployment stack that we build out. There are so many examples of the way that we build our philosophy around serverless and pay only for what you use, where you can deploy the same systems, get access to the same tools at your level of usage. And that maps really, really well to companies that have really ambitious plans for where they're going to be in 6 months, a year, 2 years from now. And we're able to price out and make an estimate of what does it cost to build up, what does it cost when we first launch, and what does it cost 2 years down the road. And to be able to give that level of kind of transparency of pricing and performance level that's on par with enterprise for that scale is something that we're most proud of.